As y'all can see my hat today, man, it is by Into the AM. You know, we had to go with that smooth, sleek look. This low key, like, this your look right here.
I know.
This is your look, bro.
I know.
This is your look, bro.
It's a good hat, man. I've worn it multiple times.
I will say this, man. It is very comfy. It's very breathable, too. You can see the mesh on the backside of it, man. Keeps the hat nice and smooth. But more importantly, we got promo codes, ladies and gentlemen. So if you use the promo code MOATS10, all right, MOATS with the number 10, you will receive 10% off of your purchases at Into the AM. Website is right there, intotheam.com. But man, it's awesome, man. The graphic tees they have, the basic t-shirts that they have. Obviously, me and Deke always talk about our contrast and style. I'm more of the graphic t-shirt guy. Deke's more the basic t-shirt guy.
Yep.
But the beauty with Into the AM is they have packages where you can get monthly subscriptions where they send you their freshest, newest color schemes, whether you want the basics or if you want the graphics, all for really nice pricing. And like I said, you can use that promo code that's right there on the screen to add to the pricing discount with that as well. So big time shout out to the homies at Into the AM.
We want to talk about doing no favors. I mean, Canada and the play calling, I think it was atrocious.
Yeah, at times it was really bad. And like I said, some of it was what I talked about, the personnel grouping, right? If you know who you have in front of you, if you know this O-line can't protect 4 or 5 seconds, why are you doing these very slow and long developing plays like the fake dive, fake reverse? Now I'm going to try to turn around and throw the ball.
Screens on third down,
like those type of plays, like I just don't really agree with this unit. I think at times, and the problem is like I can tell you what could work, but we got to execute it, and that's the term when you talk about, okay, if we know we can only go deep 5-6 times a game in terms of protection, all right, well, how do we mask that? All right, well, if we know we're going to plan to go deep on this series, let's start it out with some run. Let's start it out with some quick games. Start it out with just some quick hitters because the quick hitters are safe throws. They keep the ball moving, but they wear the defense down. They'll keep the defense tired, right? So now you get a couple plays into this series. So now your O-line doesn't have to be the best, but with that D-line tired, now you're able to take a shot. Now, 4 plays, 5 plays in, you could take a shot here because they're not going to be as hyped up, ready to go. And if you want, you can even add to that by having a tight end chip them on the way out. Maybe Najee bumps a guy on the way out. That can help you as well. We will see the Chiefs do that. Man, think about the Chiefs. They weren't every play dropping back, bombing it. No, they going dink, dunk, run, dink, hit. Now they're going to take a shot. And by the time they go to take the shot, the rush isn't the same as it was at the beginning. You see the first goal plays like, man, rush over. All right, we're going to be all right. Hey, get out too quick. Now he can hold the ball because, well, we're a little winded now. 4 or 5 plays in. Those are the things that we should be able to do, but it goes back to having to execute. We talk about the Chiefs when they would run the ball in some of those situations, they were able to stay on schedule. We talk about when we tried to run the ball in some of those situations.
Brick wall.
Yes, a brick wall.
Yeah, it was right off the bat.
What I mean? We talk about some of their short passes, right? They're getting guys wide open, right in that underneath that intermediate area.
We aren't doing that anymore.
Exactly.
Not as much.
Yeah.
It seems like it's all
crazy,
horizontal.
Bro.
It feels like
crazy, bro.
It's swing past the nausea or screen passes, which I don't like. Or at least what we were doing last year. I know people can have their complaints about how the offense was run last year. At least there were a lot more drag routes and stuff. As soon as Ben would drop back, it'd be 2-yard pass to Juju. Then he'd get an extra 2 or 3 yards. We were using that as the running game.
Right, and it keeps you on track, but it ultimately will help the O-line. Because remember, last year, Ben wasn't sacked a crazy amount either. Remember, he
sacked a lot this year.
Right, and the big difference is what? Last year, he was able to get that ball out a lot faster, so now that pressure isn't getting to him the same way. And by the time he wanted to take a shot deep, even though it wasn't the best, when he would still do it, he would have time that way. This year, we're not taking that approach. This year, you can see at times, it's like we're playing very lateral. We love sideline to sideline. We will go sideline to sideline all day. We don't like going north and south. But then at the same time, it's like we only go laterally behind the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Like the jet sweeps, the reverses, the swing passes, those type of stuff. The screens. But we don't do the drags. We don't do the ends. We're not attacking that part where it's easy just throws for him. Now, part of that is Juju. Because Juju was his guy that would work that area of the field as a slot receiver. He just had better size, combat catches. It was perfect for him. It was a good mix because Juju wasn't a downfield threat in that sense anyways.
Yeah.
Whereas now, when you have Ray or sometimes they'll put Claypool in there, you can just see the dynamic isn't the same. And that is the part where you miss Juju.
And we didn't have Pat. I mean, he's
that hurts a lot too. Yeah,
that we've seen at least get some of those. And then like I said last week, every time he catches one, it's like, all right, we should just do this every time. Yeah. I don't know why we're not.
I would
feel the same way whenever we start to get Claypool heated up. Like, bro, let's just pass it to our weapons. Let's pass it to our main guys. But no, it was rough, dude. It was rough.
Yeah. Now, I will say I did like Gentry a little bit though.
What did he even do?
He had like a couple. I think he had a nice catch early in the game. Then he had one. It was like at the end of the game. But he was a guy when I was watching, I was like, why don't we use him a little bit more? In terms of when we're talking about like no Pat out there, but trying to keep the offense on schedule without having to have these long, elongated drop back plays where you're going to put the O-line in a bad situation. That goes back to the Canada stuff, right? In terms of, what we can and can't do well right now. Get us in what we can do well. Like, because the call coming in is one thing. Ben can decide run or pass. That's cool, but it's still off of the menu, right? So if the menu is giving him calls where it's, hey man, you have to drop back 5 seconds. These are your options, but you still gonna have to drop back 5. It's like, bro, that ain't good. I don't like this. We ain't got that right now. Those are the type of things with Canada where I'm like heavy on the criticism towards him, because those are things that you just got to be more in depth. You got to feel that, man. Like, what these guys can do and can't do. You got to feel it. And you got the bird's eye view. So it's not like you're on the sideline and you're having to hear your players come by and they're telling you one thing and you're like, man, maybe y'all are blocking well. Bro, you up in the booth. You know what's going on. Because that's the other part, right? When you're on the sideline, yes. On the sideline, as a player, you will come in here, you will tell your coach, bro, I'm frying this dude. I got him all day, coach. Don't worry. You go back and watch that tape, you like, bro, I don't know what you were talking about over here. I don't know why I listened to you. But when you're on the sideline, you can't tell, and you got the emotion, you're in the heat of the battle. It's like, all right, I get it. That's why sometimes with Butts and Coach T, I'm like, yo, I get it, but y'all right down there. So y'all feeling what we feeling, and at times we emotional, it rubs off on y'all. I get it. Kennedy, you in the booth, baby. You ain't dealing with no old lineman come out to, hey, yo, I got him, dog. I got him, man. Hey, coach. Call that play. I'm gonna block him for you. No, you ain't doing that. No, Canada, come on, baby. So for me, that's the part where I'm like, Canada, you're watching this. You see guys giving up pressure. You see guys struggling. You can see, okay, timing is off. Make the adjustments. That's the part where I'm like frustrated with him right now.
I'm usually ready to do it after the first series or two, but it seems like it takes way too long. Did we make any like real adjustments? Because it felt like the offense was the same even in the second half. I
personally did not feel like we made any adjustments. Defensively, I didn't feel like we made a ton of adjustments either. I felt like it was more so the Chiefs just decided. Yeah, the Chiefs just decided that, all right, we're gonna kill the clock now. And we've seen other teams play this in the past. The Vikings did it. The Bengals done it to an extent. We've seen teams do it, but typically we'll get a turnover. We'll get a stop. Something happens for us offensively. We make a play, and then we can get the momentum back, and then we make this frantic run, right? Yesterday, it just seemed like that never happened. It felt like the only success we had was when they decided to allow us to have success. When, it's like at the end of the game, all right, we're going to play this coverage. When they're done throwing the ball, we're just going to run the ball. Like, those are the things that I just felt like they dictated everything to us.